All right. We're live on the TikTok. We're live. All right, look at all this, dude. Cool stuff, dude. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. My name is Mr. Ryan. I am the Yinzer therapist. This is another stream of the Mindfulness Power Hour, an hour in which I challenge each and every single one of you out there to forget about the doom and gloom of the world, to find a way to eliminate, that chaos inside the brain, those worries. Let's take a time out from all that bullshit, right? As the unofficial leader of the Second Church of Hope and the Second Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonder, where we hope for a better tomorrow while wondering what the fuck is going on here today. I challenge these guys to work hard, to take care of yourselves, to make those investments in yourselves, to find that way to choose self-care each and every single day. And that's what we're doing here with this Mindfulness Power Hour. It's more of a video log for myself to kind of document my journey as a presenter, as a content creator. For those who are the first time here, I am a licensed professional counselor. I am certified grief and trauma therapist. I'm certified in treatment of personality disorders. I'm certified in dialectical behavioral therapy. I'm also a certified sound healer, and I'm a certified meditation teacher. I really like to nerd out, and psychology and mental health is definitely my bag. That is for sure. I have been working in the mental health field for 15 some years. The last 6 years have been in private practice. I currently operate my private practice in the front of a nail salon down there in Turtle Creek. I'm looking to onboard some therapists and expand my reach as my caseload is full and I continue to get inquiries and referrals because the world is hurting, right? The world is on fire and we need as much healing as we can get, right? So here we are, right? So here we are trying to do my part, right? I'm trying to do what I can to make this world a better place for each and every single human being on it. And teaching people emotional regulation, working on conflict resolution, right? Actively demonstrating various coping skills and really teaching people how to soothe their soul, right? It's a really important thing. It really, really is. And that's what we do here at August West Wellness. That's what my goal is the Yinzer therapist, is to bring mental health to each and everybody out there, to really spread that mental health awareness, because everybody would do better if they had a life coach in their corner. Everybody does better if they have an objective, unbiased filter to help process the world's events, right? It's a really, really important thing. So yeah, that is me. That is what we're doing here. I encourage you, if you have fun today, tuning into this stream, tuning into the TikTok live, watching the replay on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, follow, share. Let's do what we can to build this online mental health community. Let's do what I can. Let's do what we can to spread that mental health awareness, right? Let's we the people band together and do the dirty work, the hard work to make this world a better place. All right. So, this is the first time I've used the TikTok live thingy to do things. So that's pretty fun. Never done that before. Okay, that's cool. Huh. Okay, maybe we'll do some of that at some point. That's a whole different thing there. This is a whole different window here, and that's the chat. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Who's friggin' is that? Okay, I can do goals, live gifts. Okay, this is cool, man. What happens if you hit that button? What does that do? Okay, whatever. Okay, so with the Mindfulness Power Hour, what I usually like to start off with is a discussion about our self-care, right? What have we been doing lately for our self-care? What investments have we been making in that self-care? I like to hear from yins guys out there, right? What yins guys are doing for your self-care. What healthy hobbies are we working on developing and chasing after? What I also like about this piece is that it also requires me to kind of challenge myself about my own self-care, right? It's hard to challenge yins guys out there to make those healthy choices, to do that healthy shit if I then am not following suit, right? I do a powerlifting routine. I did get 2 days in last week. Then, of course, the holiday weekend hit and things went. And my wife has a back injury, so she hasn't been able to work out. So that's causing all kinds of issues and problems as well. So I just have not been doing the powerlifting the way I should be or want to be. I have been bike riding. I have been taking walks, right? I was just out in Boyce Park today. In terms of self-care, one of the things that I've done is I became a park steward for the Allegheny County Parks. This means I am a park volunteer, and I get to go into the park and help out with trail maintenance, clipping weeds, vines, jagger bushes, the different litter events and things like that, different educational programming rates. So that has definitely been an awesome form of self-care. Getting out in the woods, getting out in the sunshine, getting out in the fresh air, right? I've been really grateful that the weather's been cooperating. I've been able to get out there and enjoy some of that fresh sunshine, right? It's been pretty badass, that is for sure. So that's been pretty awesome with the self-care. The bike riding has been cool. Down here at Atithis Studios, where I am doing this live stream from, in Sharpsburg, Atithis Studios down in Sharpsburg. If you haven't heard about this amazing art gallery, please go check it out. They have a wonderful Creative Lab membership. That's what I get to do here, and able to record these podcasts and these live streams. There's all kinds of other fun, awesome art things going on, like an art battle happening May 21st. But there's a bike trail down there. There's Etna Riverfront Trail, right? And then it kind of goes out the end and along the train tracks and actually connects with the Three Rivers Heritage Trail over there in Millville. But it's like big rocks. It's not really it's not really conducive for success. It definitely is a little interesting thing. That is a fun little piece of it. Hopefully they finish that trail off and we get a little bit more smooth riding there. So in terms of self-care, I think that's been about it. I've been continuing to do my meditations in the morning. One of the big things that I'm really enjoying lately is Mel Robbins' podcast. For those who don't know, she is the Let Them Theory lady. Maybe you know her from the 5-second rule. Regardless, she runs a podcast on top of everything else that she does. And it's definitely been quite an inspiration listening to her podcast, going back to her beginning episodes, and just getting a feel for how it all works, right? That's what she's doing is what I want to do, right? Is be able to help people on a large scale, to teach people the benefits of mental health, of meditation, of breathing exercises, of these coping skills, turning those coping skills into wellness strategies, right? That's the goal. That's the point here. So we got to keep working at it, right? We got to keep showing up to show out. And that's what we're doing here today. We're doing here today with this Mindfulness Power Hour. May not have been able to do is the best of jobs of promoting things and getting word out there, but doing what we can. And one of the things that I'm real excited about is all the upcoming events that I got going on. Right, we're going to be live here at Atithis Studios on Thursday, April 23rd, 4 p.m. The NFL draft is in the city of Pittsburgh. It's going to be a high-stress time for a lot of people. I invite everybody to come down to Atithis Studios and hang out. And let's do some brain humming together, right? Let's learn some coping skills. Let's do some healing. That'll be a good old time. Also have some events coming up at the Paduti Theater over there in Toronto, which I hear is very, very, very far away. It's really not. It's really not that far. Toronto is right up 28, just 10, 20 minutes from here. So I got events going on there. More live brain humming. We have our monthly mindful meetups on the last Monday of every month down there at Saging Space in New Kent, right? So there's all kinds of awesome opportunities to catch this stuff live, to hang out with other like-minded people and get our wellness on. It could really be a good old time. That is for sure. And that's why one of the things that I'm trying to do is get the best of both worlds going, right? We can do awesome live workshops and things like that, but not everybody has the ability to get to those workshops. Not everybody has the ability to participate because of work schedules and transportation problems and things like that. So we try to find a way to really commit ourselves to that idea that I firmly believe in with August West Wellness, is that idea of wellness wherever you are, whenever yins are, right? That is why we're doing this as a TikTok live stream, right? But we're also recording things to put up as a replay on YouTube for people to watch whenever and wherever they are, right? They don't have to catch me live on TikTok to get this goodness on. They don't have to be a part of TikTok to get this goodness on. They can still find this on YouTube at a later date, right? Trying to make it so that there's something out there for everybody, right? Because everybody could use a little wellness. The world could certainly use a little healing. We can certainly all be doing a little better as a species. That's for damn sure, right? So please, out there, if you're watching this live on TikTok, if you're watching this live on YouTube, what has your self-care been looking like? What have you been able to get out there and do, right? Have you been able to get out and enjoy the fresh air? Have you been able to add in a exercise routine? Have you been working on eating healthy? Did you get a raise? What good things have happened in your life? What is going well? Because that ties directly into the other part we like to start off these mindfulness power hours with, right? Our gratitude. Right, taking some time in to recognize the positives, the victories of our life, the good that's happening around us. For me, today's gratitude is relatively simple. It is to be here in this moment today. For those of us out there, myself included, the battle with that imposter demon, right, that struggle with confidence and belief in themselves, that belief that what they're doing matters, that it works, that it's important. It can be a challenge. And on a day like today, I could have let the imposter demon win. I could have made a lot of choices on how to spend my time. But instead, I'm here now recording these streams, recording more content, recording coping skill demonstrations, trying to find ways to help and heal as many people as I possibly can. That's what we're doing here, right? So even though I might not have promoted this the way I wanted to, as maybe I haven't got the response on social media as I've wanted yet, it doesn't mean the mission changes. It doesn't mean the mission's over. It just means we keep finding ways to refine our techniques, keep working on our stuff, to keep finding ways to do better and be better. And sitting here talking about our mental health is how we get there, right? It can be a powerful, powerful thing. So as this stream has continued to evolve, one of the things that I've recognized is, as I still don't quite have the following maybe that I maybe will have one day, we'll see where this all ends up. One of the things I get to do here is talk about whatever the fuck I want. I get to do whatever the fuck I want. It's my stream. It's my rules. If no one is going to show up and participate live and watch with me, well, then I can kind of do what I want. And what I like about that, too, is that on YouTube, if it fell flat or didn't work, maybe we cut that out. Maybe we don't do that anymore. We'll see. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about today on my awesome video log, this awesome live stream here, is one of these quotes that I came across when I was doing this training the other day. It was structural family therapy training. It was family engagement training, right? And those of that you might know, at some point maybe I'll do a video series on it, but one of my big tenets of my therapy is structural family therapy, the environment in which we live. It does have an impact. It does matter. So during this training, this quote came across, and I thought it was just so powerful, so poignant that I just needed to write it down and I had to share it with the world, because I think it's so important to recognize right now, because part of that family engagement therapy, that structural family therapy, right, is recognizing all the different systems that are at play in our lives, all the different forces that are a part of our what's going on, right? It's an important thing. It happens, right? It does. So, I forgot to keep track of things. That thing turned off. Oops. Hold on, sorry, live people. There's some of you out there. Sorry. All right, we're back. All right. Okay. How's it going out there? So the quote here from the structural family therapy, right? The quote that I got was this: "We work at odds with reality when we treat people only as individuals." Hey, let's sit that in for a second. Let's pause for a moment. I love support, man. Think about that. We work at odds with reality if we treat people only as individuals, right? It's not saying that we have to discount individuality. We have to discount the individual choices that people make, right? But it's saying if that's the only thing that we look at, that's not cool, man. It's not right. There's too many systems at play. Oh, thank you, my man. Trying my best here. I believe. Oh, thank you. I am just so you know, since it seems like this is maybe the first time here, I am a licensed professional counselor. I am a grief and certified trauma therapist. I am working as hard as I can to change the world one positive interaction at a time. Trying to figure out how to do these live streams and get good at presenting these wonderful things that I know from working with 15 years of clients. What we're doing here is what I call the Mindfulness Power Hour, where I challenge everybody to block out the doom and gloom, to ignore the chaos and stress of the world, and focus in on some mindfulness for themselves, some self-care for themselves, some way to treat themselves kindly. And we're at the point of my stream here where we're kind of talking about whatever it is mental health, right? Whatever topic it is that you guys want to discuss, whatever's out there, please let me know. Find me on the socials at yinzselves37. That's the goal, right? Is to be that change that you want to see in the world. Too many people want to sit in the shutout and bitch. How are you going to throw a shutout that way, right? You got to do more. You got to be more. And that's what we're trying to do here, right? And that's where we're focusing right now on that quote. There's that idea that we work at odds with reality when we treat people only as individuals. That sometimes we have to recognize the systems, right? The external forces that affects people's lives. There's a lot of things out there that aren't quite all our fault, right? If you guys know Jesse Wells, right? I don't know if you guys know that amazing artist out there. But Jesse Wells has a song, I believe it's just called Fat. I'm trying to remember the actual song title, but it's all about how it's all your fault that you're fat, right? But then it lists all the poison, all the toxins, all the horribleness that is all up in our food, right? That we allow to be a part of our food, right? And so is it really our fault that America has obesity problems, or is it because we've allowed the corporations to poison us? that, if we look at these systems at play, the way these things stack and affect people, maybe then we can enact real change. Right? I know we're trying to get away from the doom and gloom of politics within this space, but I just want to say, and I will continue to say it, we've designed government to be inept. We can design it to be better, and we can design it to actually help our people. And one of the ways to do that is mindfulness, right? Is to get more and more of us to invest in our self-care, to take our self-care seriously, to find those moments within our days, to take those deep breaths, to take those grounding exercises. I encourage so many of my clients to focus on those transition points, right? When take some deep breaths in that car before you walk inside after work, right? Take some deep breaths in your car before you go into work, right? Focus on those transition points and work on finding ways to do the next right thing, right? To do, what you can. I just love that quote, that recognition that, we're at odds with reality when all we do is focus on the individual. Because one of the biggest problems in our society right now is being too individualistic, right? We've forgotten the power, the importance of the collective. And I can't say that it's all about the collective, right? It's the balancing. It's the yin and the yang. Sometimes in life you need to be selfless. Sometimes in life you need to be selfish, right? It depends on the situation. It depends on the evidence that's in front of you. That's why I encourage so many of my clients to put on that investigator hat and look for the evidence in front of them. Figure out what the best play is, because it isn't always obvious. It isn't always apparent. Sometimes, it can be a little challenging to figure out what the best move is for an individual. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is recognizing where some of these negative responses to stimuli come from. Recognizing where some of these strong, adverse, negative reactions come from, and why maybe we don't always handle these situations as well as maybe we want to or could or should. And a lot of that is a trauma response, right? That the way we are responding to that current event is a response that in the past served us well, that helped us out, right? That did some good for us. What we need to recognize is that as a leftover survival skill. It is a skill that no longer serves us, no longer helps us. And because of that, we need to work hard to change how our brain responds to things, right? We need to retrain the brain, right? The neural pathways that fire together, wire together. So even though it's been wired one way, right, if you actively work to make different choices, you can really change things. And one of the biggest things that we need to change, I think a lot of us need to change, is that positive self-talk, right? Changing from, I'm so stupid, to, I did something stupid, right? Finding ways to talk positively about ourselves. And from my new Hyperfixation, the Mel Robbins podcast. If you don't know who Mel Robbins is, Google it. She's amazing. Well, most people think she's amazing. One of my clients actually can't stand her voice, but each to their own. So from that Mel Robbins podcast today, I found this wonderful positive affirmation, this wonderful brain seed that I can think could be really a powerful coping skill, a really amazing, powerful, positive affirmation. And that is, I'm a good person who, fill in the blank, right? Because not a lot of us are choosing to screw up our lives. Not a lot of us are, actively trying to sabotage everything. But sometimes things go wrong. Things aren't good. Sometimes there's certain things that we struggle with, right? So this idea is, I'm a good person who, blank, and fill that in. Because maybe you're a good person who struggles with money. But you're working now, reaching out to professionals, and you're working to get it under control. Maybe you're a good person, but who struggles with addiction. But it doesn't mean you're not a good person, right? And sometimes, to add that effect, hold that hand over your heart when you say it. To add even more effect, maybe go stare in a mirror, right? Maybe go look at that reflection, stare yourself in the eyes, and tell yourself, I am a good person, right? And I think it would be fun to see what kind of endings to the sentence Yin's guys come up with. I'm a good person who blank, right? I'm a good person who loves his family. I'm a good person who tries his best every day. I'm a good person who fights through depression and anxiety to get out of bed every day, right? What does your sentence look like, right? What is your fill in the blank answer, right? I'm really curious to what Yin's guys come up with. And what I like about this idea of I'm a good person who, because one of the things that we can talk about is the different parts of us, the different, or as I like to say, the different hats that we wear, right? Because we have a lot of different parts. Sometimes due to trauma, there's younger parts of our childhood hanging out, being left over, right? Sometimes it's other kinds of parts like anxiety brain or depression brain or ADHD brain, right? Trauma brain, right? So there can be those different parts. And sometimes, with this kind of sentence, I'm a good person who deals with anxiety, right? And then maybe we can take that further and say, I'm a good person who deals with anxiety. Hey, anxiety, I hear you there. I see you there. But guess what? I'm good. I don't need you right now. Because anxiety is a survival skill, right? Anxiety over a test is what helps you study, right? Anxiety over getting fired and losing your job may be what helps you be a better employee. Okay, so anxiety can be a good thing, but in today's world, it can be supercharged, it can be out of control, right? It can be utterly ridiculous. So yeah, find that fill in the blank answer. I'm a good person who. I'm a good person who. I like that. I do. I really do. Really, really do. So, now, as we continue to work through this Mindfulness Power Hour, I am the Yinzer Therapist, Yinzer Therapist 37 on most of the socials. Find me as August West Wellness there on Facebook. Because Facebook's mostly old people, right? Got to keep it a little more simple there. We are entering in the second half of this Power Hour. And this is where I like to do the coping skill demonstrations, right? To really teach people and show people how to cope, what to do, right? And what we're going to try to do today is play with some of my singing bowls here. I have a set of 7. I only brought 3. Because one of the things I'm recognizing with this space here in these live streams, right, is one of the ways I can maybe get Yin's guys to come out to the live events, right, to come see me live and in person, is maybe not giving away the whole shebang here, right? So what I'm getting at is that while I'll play with a couple singing bowls here in these live streams, if you come see me live for those sound baths, if you book me for a sound bath at your event for your company HR's picnic or this or that, or a birthday party or a grad party, whatever it is that you can think of, let me know and I'll bring my singing bowls. Right? So on the live streams, right, you get a taste, a little sampling, right? But if you come see me in person, you get the whole enchilada, right? So please, 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 if you're tuning in out there on TikTok, if you're tuning in there on YouTube on the replay, please, Yinzer Therapist 37. Click that like button, click that follow, subscribe button, share the shit out of this shit, comment away, let me know what you like, let me know what you didn't like. And let's work hard as we can to build this online mental health community and work to change the world one positive interaction at a time, right? So please, show me some love, show me that support. Let's work together to build this awesomeness, and let's do it. So, take me a second here to get set up. I believe I'm okay. On that stream, I just want to adjust the one camera a little bit. Sorry, my kid lost her phone yesterday at school, and one of the reasons she lost it is she was live. She had it on the playground with her, where she isn't supposed to be, and I knew this, and I called her out on it. And then as I just got the email from her teacher, they kind of said the same exact thing. That it is supposed to be in her book bag during the day, and not in her hoodie pocket. So I was right, she was wrong. Man. All right. So for the next few moments here, we are going to go ahead and do a sound bath until I got to wrap things up. I am a licensed therapist, and I have a full caseload, which is why I'm trying to hire other therapists. So clients are blowing up the phone, trying to figure out what we're doing for the day. So that's where, even I, with these mindfulness power hours, right, trying to take that time in for myself and be able to do this and block out the doom and gloom out there, right? It isn't always the easiest of things. Life definitely gets lifey. It definitely gets to be a lot. It can definitely be a challenge, right? So we do the best we can. So with putting all that doom and gloom behind us, with trying to relax and find a moment to take those deep breaths, and get after things. Here we go. With a little taste of what it would be like to have a sound bath with Mr. Ryan, the Yinzer therapist. Please check out my socials for all my upcoming events, because we do a lot of live, awesome workshops. I don't think either one of these cameras is pointed the way I need them to be. So we're just going to play the balls. The next 10-15 minutes or so. Just going to play the balls. I invite yins to take those deep breaths. And sit with yourselves. Sit with those thoughts. Try to make sure they're positive thoughts. If they're not so positive, make them positive. Let's shift them around. Let's hold on to that positive affirmation. I am a good boy. I am an alright guy. I am a badass. What kind of positive I statements can you come up with? Huh? What kind of positive things can you say to yinzselves? check in with those senses. Let those tensions melt away. Let's forget about that outside world for a moment. Let's find that inner peace. How we doing? Do we like the singing bowls? Don't they sound amazing? Aren't they so much fun? Got a few more moments here. I want to keep on playing. You guys keep on breathing, checking in with those senses. Letting that tension, that stress melt away. Working hard to cleanse that soul, recharge that battery. Do what you can to find that center, that baseline, to have yourselves one hell of a bodacious, fantastic, fantabulous kind of day. My name is Mr. Ryan. I am the Yinzer Therapist. Follow me on Yinzer Therapist 37 for all my latest events. Come see me teach brain humming live. Come see me do my sound baths live. All the information is right there. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to help. Nothing quite like playing with my bowls. What can I say? I got jokes. taking those deep breaths, working hard to let those automatic thoughts, those intrusive thoughts, those invasive thoughts float away. A couple more minutes here. Brings us to a close. As I have clients I got to get to, a job that I got to go do. It's time to stop playing with my singing bowls and do some of the other work that I got to get done today. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in to the replay on YouTube. Again, Yinzer Therapist 37 on most of the socials. August West Wellness out over there on Facebook. Please look out for all those upcoming events. The next one is Brain Humming 101 right here at Atitha Studios. And then after that will be the Monday Mindful Meetup in April. That last Monday in April down at Saging Space. So please check out my socials. Like, comment, follow, share, subscribe, do all those things. Hopefully I'll see you guys in person at a workshop. Share, comment, like, love, share the shit out of this shit. Let's build this online mental health community. Let's continue to work hard to be the change we want to see in this world. And please, I hope, may all your hopes always outweigh your doubts. Until next time. What if you go at 1 and she goes at 2?